car. No. Roll your window down. Roll it down. Get out of the car. Roll it down and get out of the car. Roll it down and get out of the car, please. I'm not gonna tell you again. Roll it down or get out of the car. You know what? I got you. You wanna mess around? You wanna mess around? Yeah, that's right.
Are you serious?
Well, hello there, partner. Go on and hang up your hat, grab yourself a whiskey, and pull up in the easy chair. We're coming off the range of 9 to 5s with a whole herd of news stories that we've been steaming over like a cow patty in the Texas heat. As they say, the chickens are finally coming home to roost. And we're here to ruffle some feathers and ensure accountability ain't just a concept, it's reality. It's that time where the day's drama casts its longest shadow. So let's light a candle to the chaos of current events, the whirlwind of politics, and the tangled webs of corruption that we find ourselves entwined by. It's time to ramble our way into the twilight. Welcome to Sunset Rants.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Sunset Rants. I'm your host, Biddy. I'm here with Dee. What's up, Dee?
Not much. Just chilling here.
Yep. It's Monday. We got through it. I always feel like Monday is kind of like a blur. Tuesday usually feels like a little more like rustle, hustle, bustle. But like Monday, I'm just like one eye open, just trying to get through the day. But we got through it. It's the end of the day now. We got through the dreaded Monday. Thank you guys as always for joining us. If you want to follow the show on X, you can follow us at @therealroma_AK. If you want to follow me, it's Elizabitty213A. And you can follow Dee on X at Cynical Latina and also on Truth Social, but not really, kind of, sort of.
Yes.
You can also Truth Social me as well, Instagram, other places, but I'm normally on X. But yeah, we have a ton to get to today. A couple of stories, a lot of big, moving and shaking that the U.S. is doing. So let's just get to it. You ready?
Yes, let's go.
All right. So coming to you from CBS News, Iran acknowledges mass protest deaths but claims situation under control as Trump mulls response. Iran's theocratic rulers are under the most intense pressure they felt in years as President Trump leaves the option of a U.S. military intervention on the table in the face of fast-mounting death toll amid more than 2 weeks of anti-government protests across the Islamic Republic. Mr. Trump said Sunday that Iranian officials had called him looking, quote, to negotiate after his repeated threats to intervene if authorities kill protesters. In an unusual move, meanwhile, Iran's state-controlled media aired video on Sunday showing mass casualties in and outside a morgue in a Tehran suburb. The video shared widely online shows dozens of bodies outside the morgue, which CBS News has geolocated to the southern Tehran suburb of Karizak. The bodies were wrapped in black bags, and people can be seen grieving and searching for their loved ones at the site. The state TV reporter says in the clip that some of those seen dead may have been involved in violence, but that, quote, the majority of them are ordinary people and their families are ordinary people as well. And you see that just terrible image right there. That's just, those are people. That's insane. Video posted by social media users on Sunday showed scenes from the same morgue, and people could be heard wailing in the background as others appeared to be looking for loved ones amid the bodies. It is unclear why Iranian authorities might have chosen to show the mass casualties, but it could be an attempt to show sympathy with the protesters and to bolster their narrative that is more radical actors, inspired by Mr. Trump's message of support behind the violence, not the government. It could be that, or it could be the threat that, maybe Elon Musk could be sending some internet access to some of these people via Starlink, and they could be, kind of sending out these conversations themselves. So maybe they're trying to get ahead of that and pretend like they actually care. That's just my own opinion. I was just thinking. President Trump and Iranian officials have escalated their warnings over the past week, with both sides insisting they're ready for but not seeking a military confrontation. On Sunday, however, Mr. Trump said Iran's leadership had called looking to talk. Quote, the leaders of Iran called. Yesterday, he told reporters Sunday on Air Force One, saying a meeting is being set up. They want to negotiate. He said, we may have to act before a meeting, Mr. Trump warned. He first warned 10 days ago that if Iran killed protesters, the U.S. would come to their rescue, but he's yet to say what exactly would prompt some action against the regime or what that might entail. A senior U.S. official confirmed to CBS News on Sunday that the president had been briefed on new options for military strikes in Iran after Mr. Trump warned that if the regime started, quote, killing people like they have in the past, we would get involved. We'll be hitting them very hard where it hurts, he said at the White House. And that doesn't mean boots on the ground, but it means hitting them very, very hard where it hurts. Yeah, and just kind of like more of that. But, the protests, like they said, it has basically been going on for a minute now. The immediate trigger of the protests, at least what has been kind of reported and talked about, was economic hardship that the Iranian people have been experiencing. They began around December 28th, 29th in Tehran, especially in the Grand Bazaar, when shopkeepers, bazaar merchants closed their businesses and took to the streets in response to severe economic crisis. Iran's currency, the rial, I don't know how to say that, plunged to historic lows. Inflation soared, and prices for food, essentials, and foreign exchange became overwhelming for many Iranians. The economic distress kind of been building over years, driven by factors, including sanctions. That's an idea from the U.S. UN measures, tightened over time, hurting trade and the economy, high inflation, currency collapse, and public frustration with perceived government mismanagement, corruption, and shrinking economic opportunities. It's kind of like, if you give people too much power and there's no checks and balances, you're going to have corruption. You're going to have mismanagement, if you want to call it that. But I think corruption is probably more plausible. But the unrest kind of started with that, but it expanded. So there's like student workers, broader segments of society joined demonstrations. Protesters began chanting anti-government, anti-leadership slogans, including criticisms of Iran's clerical rulers. So they, it started out as kind of one thing, but then people started realizing there was a lot of other things to be griping about with them. And I kind of wonder, because now we're getting involved. President Trump has spoken a lot about this. He's been saying that we're ready to help them if we need to. And we have actually something that happened recently. A U-Haul truck drove through Iran protesters crowd in Los Angeles. So that just happened, where one person was struck. And they were protesting everything that was going on in Iran. So it kind of in support of the anti-regime protesters. So, because remember, we have a lot of people still in this country that really shouldn't be here, that just kind of came flooding over the border, and we're still working to get a lot of them out. So can you imagine if there's some pro-regime people in this country, or pro-terrorist people in this country that don't want to see Iran fall, or want to help disrupt things here, while
I'm sure that there is many, like we let so many people in that were unvetted. Like, of course there's going to be people in here in the States that are pro-Iran and don't want to see the regime crumble. So
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty scary.
Yep. Yeah. So that, I mean, and this just happened. This was just like 22 hours ago. I have this article here. So, that could be just the start of it.
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I hope not, but I mean, Iran already vowed to target U.S. military. That's kind of like one of the things that they use as leverage. Iran's attorney general, we were talking before we came on. He said 2 days ago that anyone caught protesting will be considered a quote enemy of God, which is punishable by death. Adding, even those who helped rioters could be sentenced to death as well. So he
Yeah.
says this 2 days ago, and then then they want to kind of play this game of semantics, like, oh, we didn't say, this is not really what is being said, even though we're saying this,
Yeah.
that doesn't necessarily mean that people are getting killed. But then now they're coming out acknowledging this kind of thing. And a lot of the pro-regime people are looking at things like, in 1953, where the U.S. and UK orchestrated a coup in Iran that overthrew the prime minister Mohammad Mossadegh, significantly impacting U.S.-Iran relations and the region's political landscape. So there's that, kind of like in the history. So anybody who kind of who might be here in this country, maybe even not from the region, but kind of like, if they want to have some kind of argument for our involvement over there, or they want to kind of make it seem like whatever's going on over there economically is totally on our shoulders or anything like that, they have things that they can cite. And that's usually what happens. And that's why I feel like there's a lot of unrest, especially in this country, is because things get really complicated, and there are a lot that you can pull from and not really look into it and follow the trail of what happened over the years. You can just kind of go back, look at one moment and say, oh yeah, this is it. It's definitely the United States' fault.
Yeah. And honestly, I think that, the fact that Iran wants to control everything, right? They cut off their power, they cut off their internet. They want to make sure that whatever it is that they're doing is not being able to be communicated out to the world. So I've seen some posts where there's maybe someone that has internet. They're going door to door and looking for Starlink devices and all that stuff to make sure that these people cannot communicate and show the atrocities that this regime is doing. And I'm very, I do not want us to get involved with anyone else's wars, but if this country wasn't so hostile to us, I would say to just, let sleeping dogs lie or whatever. But I think that it is in the best interest of the United States to make sure that this regime crumbles. So, I'm kind of hesitant, but at the same time, I'm like, nuke 'em, baby.
Yeah.
Not nukes. Obviously there's.
No, but I know what you mean. Yeah,
There's a lot of good
sometimes
people,
it's a
but
hard
still.
decision, but yeah. Thank you, Brian. Brian actually found the video of what I was referencing earlier with the U-Haul truck. So yeah, let's see what's going on there. I mean, that's not a mistake.
No.
This is America. This is Los Angeles.
Yes, there's actually a video prior to that too, of what was going on prior to. Oh, excuse me. What was happening prior, and I guess I don't know if the driver of that U-Haul showed up to antagonize the crowd because he had that signage on the side of the U-Haul. And so people were actually destroying it. Like the dude that was on top of the U-Haul, he had climbed up there and he was ripping off the sign. And then a few people had gone through and they had smashed the windows and they had broken the side mirrors and all that stuff. Okay. And they were yelling at the dude inside. I think they were trying to get him and pull him out. And from there, he
could be like he was trying to get away kind of thing.
I don't know if he was trying to get away. Clearly, he went there with a purpose. But I think at that time they were trying to yank him out. So it doesn't look like he just floored it, because it looks like he kind of like went and then like it was a very jerky. But yeah,
movement.
I mean, still, I mean, whether he did it on purpose or not, he ran over a bunch of people, and clearly there was people hurt. So
Yeah.
um
And that banner you were talking about said, "No Shah, no regime. USA don't repeat 1953. No mullah."
yes.
That's what I was
Mhm.
talking to you about the 1953 coup. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this, I mean, it's scary. It's really, really scary. Sometimes I think that a lot of things were probably on President Trump's mind and the administration of different things that were going on in the world. And hopefully, I was thinking maybe he thought that like he needed to get a huge chunk of the people that are not supposed to be in this country out before he can start making those maneuvers. Like, he
Yeah.
went after the Tren de Agua gang, because they were terrorizing people, trying to push people
Oh,
out of
yeah.
their own homes and everything, for sure. But I think that he definitely might have thought, well, definitely might have, but like, I feel like he probably would have thought, getting all of those people, or a huge chunk of them, out before he went ahead and started making moves against Venezuela was probably the smart idea, having less of them, the supporters here.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. But that's all like geopolitics, like all of this stuff is like, you have to be strategic. And a lot of these things are not just what's going on in these nations. It's part of a bigger picture. And, we'll kind of get to that a little bit later when we talk about, possible acquisitions. But should we go on to another big story that's got everybody talking? Would you like to
Let's
take
go.
the next one?
Yes. So this next one comes to us from ABC News, and it's transgender athlete bans get Supreme Court review in landmark case. What do you think about that? That crazy. So
I know.
lower courts have ruled the bans violate civil rights law and the Constitution. There is nothing in the Constitution that says that you have to let men dress up as women playing sports. Like, that's so stupid how they tie these things up. But, before I go on a complete derailment here. So
I know.
The Supreme Court on Tuesday will, for the first time, wade into the heated national debate over whether transgender girls should be allowed to participate in girls' and women's sports. The justices will hear arguments in a pair of cases from Idaho and West Virginia, where federal courts have blocked state laws that would prohibit trans girls from participating on teams consistent with their gender identity or mental illness. The outcome of the cases will determine the fate of those laws and similar measures in 27 other states. There are an estimated 122,000 transgender American teens who participate in high school sports nationwide, according to the Williams Institute at UCLA Law School. Lower courts have concluded separately that the bans discriminate on the basis of sex in violation of Title whatever. I'm not good with Title IX. I'm not good with Roman numerals.
Me too. I know. Same thing.
The landmark civil rights law that has promoted equal opportunities for women and girls in athletics and the Constitution's Equal Protection Clause. The states are asking the justices to overturn those decisions and reinstate their laws, arguing that sex and gender identity are not synonymous when it comes to women's athletics, and that allowing transgender girls to compete against cisgender girls is unfair and unsafe. It really comes down to one simple question, said West Virginia Attorney General John McCuskey
in
an interview with ABC News. Is it legal and constitutional for states to delineate their athletic playing fields based on the immutable physical characteristics that people have that are associated with their sex that's assigned at birth? let's see, Becky Pepper Jackson, a high school sophomore from Bridgeport, West Virginia, who competes in discus and shot, put on the track and field team, brought the legal challenge to her state's law in 2021. She is the only known openly trans athlete in West Virginia in any sport. Okay. Someone has to do it. Someone has to do this for all of us, Becky told ABC News. Otherwise, these laws and bills are just going to stand. Okay. Transgender athletes make up just over 1% of more than 8 million teenage students athletes nationwide. Okay, so this is just all like... So let me get to my rant, because this is something that really pisses me off, because... so because of the 1% of more than 8 million teenage students, you're going to change the laws and make actual women uncomfortable with like swinging dicks in the locker rooms and the possibility of having, that unfairness. Because regardless, biologically male, it doesn't matter if you're taking hormones, they don't change your internal bodily structure. It doesn't rearrange your bone structure, your muscle structure, your ligaments, the way your body moves, your center of gravity. No. And so, the fact that
you're able to put on.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All of it. It doesn't change any of that. And, for them to try to keep saying that these boys or girls is not only a disservice to them, but like, why don't they think about their daughters, that are losing possibly... We're already the weaker sex, whether we want to admit it or not. Of course, like, I don't want to admit that. I'm a tough chick, and I like doing things by myself, and I like fixing shit, and I love tools, and I love like a bunch of like doing boy stuff. Am I a boy? No. Like, and at some point when like I'm sitting there trying to open the fucking jar and I can't,
oh my God,
I have to go to my husband and tell him
at the end of the day, that pickle jar is going to my husband to open. Like, no matter how tough, no matter how cool,
no matter how big I think my balls are, my non-existent lady balls are, there's a lot of shit that I can't do.
Yeah.
That I depend on the strength of either I grab my husband or my son. So, it's like, yeah, we have to admit that there is a biological difference. And it's like I just said, man, I tightened these, I guess they're like nuts or something that are on my toilet, because I changed out the pump, and I felt so proud of myself because I did it by myself. And then the toilet was leaking. Because as good as I thought that I tightened those, and it said hand tighten only,
it's like we don't
have
was
leaking.
That strength in our fingers, the grip.
No, I had to go get my son to come and do it for me. So my 18-year-old son, had more strength than my 42-year-old ass, to tighten those things up. And it's just like, at some point we have to admit that there is a difference, and there is no reason why these boys should be allowed the 1% of possible, and not all 1% is going to want to be in like sports, that's actually going to want to be in a sport. I'm sure there's plenty of girls that are not there trying to compete with boys, that girls that identify as boys, you don't hear about it. Why is it always the boys that are trying to invade the women's sports? And it's just like, it makes me so mad, especially, I had my daughter, when my daughter was in high school, she was in track and cross country. She was in varsity. And luckily she didn't come into a situation where there was a boy trying to compete as a girl. But like, Jesus Christ, if there was, you best believe that I probably would have gotten arrested. Like, there's no way that I wouldn't have gone down there and I would have made a big ass deal about it. I was already on the school shit list. So, as a Karen mom probably, but like, it's not fair to the girls that have a biological disadvantage. And so I think that hopefully the Supreme Court will see that. There's only a few radical leftist judges on there which hopefully, because Ketanji Brown was appointed with the auto pen. Maybe something will happen. I'm not going to hold my breath, but still.
I know, just like one of those things on the to-do list. No, but yeah, I totally agree, man. Like it's really crazy that we have to have this as one of the things, like with everything going on in this country, we have to have the Supreme Court weigh in on this and make a final decision. I mean, that's like the most insane thing to me, that we even have to have this conversation. But it's so true. Like, and even in the smallest form, just like forget for a second about, you know, girls being in danger because the boys are a lot stronger, or having to deal with them in the locker rooms and stuff like that. Just think about how long, like you were kind of like alluding to this earlier, how long it took women to really carve themselves out, you know, different leagues in the sport realm and all this other kind of stuff, and make names for ourselves and stuff like that. And then you have people that just decided that they, you know, they don't, you know, they have body dysmorphia or whatever is going on, and they believe that they're a different gender, and they can just decide that and then just scoop right in and just take away from what women have worked so hard for. If you really feel strongly about where you are and what you are and all this other kind of stuff, you should be pushing transgender leagues. Like, make that your pioneering effort. Like, that's what you should do. And then see, like, maybe people will want to watch it. Maybe you'll have communities of people that want to watch it, and maybe
That's the thing. Nobody's going to want to watch it. The amount of people that would actually want to watch it is probably very small. Just like that one, they made this one comedy, and it was like a transgender, not a transgender, it was like a gay couple comedy. It flopped. Nobody went to see it. Nobody went, and they were making a big deal. They were advertising it like nobody's business, and it was like a romantic comedy between two gay dudes, and nobody went to see it. So, you know, it clearly shows that is not, like, if they did it'll get less views than women's sports, like the WNBA and shit. You know, there isn't a W football league, a women's football league. Nobody will watch that shit.
For them, like, tough. I'm sorry. You know, we have to push. If this is what you want, then you got to push. You know, but we do, one of the, like, talking about pioneers, we actually have a clip that Brian's going to bring up. Riley Gaines, everybody should by now know who she is. The medaled amazing swimmer who had to go up against, you know, the same topic, and she had the mob chasing her. She had to lock herself up in a room. She kind of weighed in a little bit on this case being heard by the Supreme Court. Just about to like 141. I mean, she goes on, she makes a lot of great points, but
maintain a level of decorum. I do not. So while of course I'm excited for the opportunity for the case that will be heard tomorrow, truthfully, I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off that we've reached a point where we seemingly have an entire political party who has diminished and erased our rights as women. That's exactly what this is. Don't let them frame it any other way. They love to hide behind words like compassion and empathy and inclusion. Let me be very, very clear. What me and what my teammates faced, it was not inclusive. It was exclusive, because we as women were excluded from participating, from competing, from calling ourselves champions, because we were sent the message, and there's lots of fingers to point. I mentioned the Democratic Party. You could point a finger at many different institutions, the NCAA being one of them. We were told loud and clear that our rights to safety, our rights to privacy in areas of undressing, our rights to equal opportunity, they didn't matter.
Yeah. And if you guys want to hear like the full one, you can find that on YouTube. But, you know, that's basically what it is. You know, they gaslight very, very well. That's one of their main tools in their toolbox, is they gaslight the public, pull on heartstrings, make it seem like you're hurting a marginalized community, and they should have like a big megaphone because they've never been able to have a voice. And, you know, they make it seem like by you saying, I don't want you in my locker room, that means I don't want you to exist. And so they change it to be like that you're a bad person if you want privacy as one. Like, I remember in high school, I didn't even want to get undressed in front of other women, let alone if there was like a guy, you know, walking around in the locker room. I think I would have lost my absolute everything. Like, I would have, I don't know how they, it's really sad what the young people deal with right now. It's really crazy. Hey, Funk. We got Funk General in the chat gifting some membership. What's up, kid? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so awesome.
Yeah, so and you know, this could have major implications because once the Supreme Court's they argue on the constitutionality of things, on how it really should, the law should be read, and what makes sense. So once they argue certain things about this legislation, it's going to affect other things like bathroom spaces and all that other kind of stuff. So what really happens with this case right here can trickle down to other things. Currently, there's, I don't know, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 26, 24, 26, 28, 29, I don't know, like 28 states right now that already have their own ban, prohibit transgender students from participating in sports. And then, you know, you have the other side of the country. So it's almost split down the middle, which is crazy. I hate saying that because I feel like that's always trying to push kind of civil war type stuff. But if you look at it, it really is like half the country has no ban and then the other half does.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We shall see. And it's not going to force these states because there's still some state sovereignty. But as Riley Gaines actually says later on in that clip, she says it basically allows the states that want to do it from enforcing those laws.
Yeah. I don't know. This should just be on a national level that, you know, women need to be protected, especially since, I mean, from the time that women were allowed in a college, right? Women had to play a sport in college. It was mandatory. Okay, you want equal rights, you have to do everything the men do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the women didn't have like special like athletic gear that they could even wear. They had to wear those big bouffant dresses and the corsets and all that shit to play. I think they just like kicked the ball around and stuff, you know. It wasn't anything like the boys were playing football and stuff, you know. It wasn't anything like that. But there's pictures where you see these women playing sports in college, and they're you know, so women, basically my point is that women had to go through a lot to get the standing that they have now, you know. And then the men, it's always the men that just come in and sweep in and just fucking take everything that we've worked for, you know. And it's just, why are we allowing this? Why isn't there more women like coming out? Where are the real feminists at? Where we want to keep things for women, you know. And then they say that we're TERFs and all this stuff like it's a bad thing. Like, well, no,
that's why they gaslight the weak-minded public to basically say that they are women. Forget about they identify. They said they are. I'm sorry. So that way,
you have a penis, you're not
like rooting for them as well as women.
Yeah, no. If you have a penis, you're a man. Mm-hmm. It's pretty simple and self-explanatory. If you identify as a woman, then there's something wrong with you mentally, because that is in here. It's not down there. Mm-hmm. You're not a woman. You're a fucking dude, and you need to get out of women's spaces and stop taking opportunities from women. And go find something, because you like most of these men in their categories are mid or subpar, mm-hmm. and then they come into women's sports and just annihilate all us chicks in this sport. So like, no, get the hell out of here and go. No, I'm so over like hearing about this. Like, I think there needs to be a massive push from us women to stop tolerating this shit.
Well, it will, because that's just what happens with human nature. The pendulum always swings, and when you push things too far, now you're going to lose all of your support. any kind
Yeah.
of support that you had from people that were just trying to go about their business. Like, you keep doing this kind of stuff, it's going to push people to just totally say, that's it, I'm done. I don't care. I'm done
Yeah.
with that. I'm done with all of it. There's no more reasoning anymore. And you know, that's sad too. So like, you know, when you think of people like Blair White and stuff like that, who say, like, who advocate for thinking clearly and not pushing stuff that don't make sense, like, they, you know, people like Blair say, you pushing too much and you're going to ruin it for the people who just want to be left alone and just do their own thing, and not trying to
Yeah.
go into women's spaces or trying to, you know, read books to children and all their drag stuff and whatnot.
I agree.
But yeah. All right. So this one I'm really, really excited about, because I mean, people are talking about it. I don't know if a lot of people really understand how big this is and how needed this is. So, coming to you from USA Today, Greenland NATO pushback as Trump says US is going to have territory. President Donald Trump is continuing to push for a U.S. takeover of Greenland, including by force, as European allies express dismay over his threats towards the Danish territory. Speaking to reporters on Air Force One on Sunday, January 11, Trump brushed off questions over how a possible seizure of the self-governed Arctic island could affect the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, and doubled down on claims that the U.S. needs Greenland for national security. Quote, I love to make a deal with them, Trump said. It would make things easier, but one way or another, we are going to have Greenland. Trump floated the idea of a U.S. takeover of Greenland in 2019, including buying the island during his first term in office. Officials in both Denmark and Greenland have made it clear it's not for sale. Despite strong international pushback and lack of appetite for an invasion from many in his own party, Trump has grown increasingly more vocal about the idea over the past several months. He has moved from musing to buying Greenland to issuing threats, recently saying on January 9th that the U.S. will seize control of Greenland the easy way or the hard way. All right, so just a couple of things. I took a bunch of notes because it's really hard for me to remember all of this, and a lot of this stuff is really, really cool, and might even change your mind a little bit about the idea of what Trump is doing if you are kind of against it. So for a long time, the Arctic Ocean has been considered the fourth wall because it's totally inaccessible, but that's changing because now there is what is called the Transpolar Sea Route. It's an ice-free shipping route that is opening up by mid-century, which means that ships are going to be able to transverse the area part of the year, and then later as the ice kind of melts down a bit, probably during the whole year. Also, there is the Kola Peninsula, has become the crux of Russia's military, which is what Putin is calling his ice curtain. China is also positioning itself as a near Arctic state. They like to say they are calling this Transpolar Sea Route the Ice Silk Road, and they are investing heavily in Arctic affairs, mining, science, political engagement. Then the U.S., which has the Bidefik Space Base, which it's spelled really differently, but apparently that's how you say it. We have a radar dome. U.S. Space Command highlighted the strategic importance of this space base because it exists in a unique position at the top of the world where you can monitor missiles that might come from a place like North Korea or outbound from the United States. It is key to the ballistic missile early warning system. It also has become essential to satellite control, which has become a monitoring element for low Earth orbit. There's also a talk about Greenland's rare earths. They're also important because currently China has a monopoly on that market, and they use their leverage of that monopoly by targeting our defense sectors, semiconductor manufacturing. The U.S. also signed a deal with Denmark back in 1951, which gave us a lot. We already have the U.S. Space Command at the Bidefik Space Base, and if we want, we can pursue rare earth mining already in Greenland. However, in 2009, Greenland became self-governing. So in many important ways, in the deal they made with Denmark to self-govern, they now have control over international affairs. There is a lot of poverty in Greenland, and when you don't have a lot of money, you need to find like external support, which means that other people, nations, can come in and offer you things like loan guarantees. For example, China wanted to build an airport there. that they created a big issue, because that would have placed a lot of Chinese technology. Think about like the balloons and different things that were going over our military bases, Chinese technology near that US space base, which that we talked about. Also, once the trade route is fully functioning, Greenland population, which is like, I don't know, what, 50K or something, like really small, could have a lot of people fighting over that area and cause them a lot of instability. So if we don't act now, we're going to have an issue in the future. China also built an ice-breaking ship. They call it the Shui Long 2 or something like that. China has a remote sensing platform for the Arctic environment, so this ship can create a detailed map showing the seafloor features, such as maybe if we have any submarines that we might have down there. Russia also deployed nuclear forces in the Arctic called the Kinzhal missile, which is a hypersonic weapon, and it's so fast that a lot of the times it's hard for us to monitor. And then just kind of like just a little piece of history of importance, that in 1868, the United States, at the time, the Republican Secretary of State, William Seward, pointed it out that Greenland is going to be extremely strong. And he's the one that negotiated and got us Alaska. That was him. So at the time, after he bought Alaska, or not he, we helped buy Alaska for like $7.2 million in 1867, he mentioned Greenland as something that needs to be acquired. And it's kind of funny to point out that at the time when he did help facilitate the purchase of Alaska, people called it Seward's folly, as if he made a mistake, which we know now he didn't. But yeah, so there's a lot of ways that we can get through, these are things that I'm sure they're kind of looking at behind the scenes. Like, how would we do this? We have a model called Compact of Free Association. And when we use that with relationships like with Micronesia and the Marshall Islands, what it does is it gives the territory that comes into compact access to a lot of U.S. programs like FEMA, National Weather Service, FAA, Post Service, and banking. And the citizens of those territories can live and work in the United States, and the United States citizens can live and work there. And it allows the U.S. to operate armed forces in that area. So basically, back in 2009, when Greenland got their independence, when they decided to self-govern, they also allocated or grabbed the right to secede. So there's a lot of pathways, and a lot of the things that I've found is like, we absolutely need this. Like, after looking at all of this, like, yes, I want it now, because you think about where they are. They're in the middle of Russia, all of these, Asia, like they're right in the middle of all of that. And if we don't take control of that area, they're going to get taken control of eventually. Somebody's going to go in and strong arm them eventually. And it's going to be the people we don't want, like China or Russia. So we really need to do it. And that's why Trump is like, I don't care what you guys are saying. We're doing it. We're going to get it. However.
I agree. I think there's a very strong possibility because they've done a lot of interviews with like people from Greenland, and they're all down. They're all down. So, whatever their government says, I don't think it matters what their government says. I think it depends on the people, since they are self-governing. Mm-hmm. We'll see, I guess. But I think, what we've seen is this track record. Trump always wins. He always does. Like, it doesn't matter what has been thrown at him or what. He's overcome every single thing, whether it be by luck or by, whatever. But he always wins. So I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to get what he wants, period, and that's just.
Oh, great.
Well, the libs can cope and seethe,
No, but you know what? I mean, Trump can cure cancer on his way to lunch, and people will find a way to be upset about it. I've heard people say that, but it's actually really true, bro. Like, every time
it is.
Even when, he came out recently about, capping the interest rates on credit cards at 10%. Yes. People are actually saying, oh, well, Biden tried to do that and it was blocked by a judge. Like, no, he tried to cap the I think it was like the late fees at like $8 or something like that. And it was blocked But, you know, whether or not it was blocked, I don't care, because I think that Trump, when he negotiates with a lot of these companies, he understands what they want and what they need and what kind of leverage he has over them in that conversation. So he might have been able to just get these deals because he can negotiate better. The art of the deal, like, hello, he's a way better negotiator. And that's probably why he was able to bring a lot of pharmaceutical companies to the table to do, you know, to give us that same price or whatever he calls it. That other.
Well, also, you got to think about too is that Trump has been in these circles and has networked with all these people and done business with all these people for years.
That's right.
Biden is an outsider.
Mm-hmm.
Biden was just a sleazy politician that would run his mouth and do nothing. You know, he doesn't have that connection with these people.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you anything that Trump has like all these people's cell numbers and they talk like, you know, they're friends or they're acquaintances, whereas Biden would never be able. First of all, Biden is not a negotiator. He doesn't have the head or the intelligence to negotiate something like this or the connections. You know, he's like a massive L compared to Trump that, you know,
right.
That's just a circle he runs in. So yeah, I mean, of course Trump is going to pull it off. He knows all these people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, okay, I'm ready to geek out, you guys. So forgive me, forgive us, because I know Dee's right there with me. Because, bro, talking about women and like the stuff that we love and you know, whatever, they did it. Do you guys remember in the movie Total Recall from the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie? I watched it like a million times. I'm always throwing that movie on. I love that movie.
The OG one.
The OG one. So there's a part in the movie when he goes to the I'm blanking on the freaking name of the place, but the memory place where you can go in and you can get a memory, like if you're going to vacation or whatever. And the lady at the front desk, she just starts tapping on her fingers and the nail polish changes. They did it. They actually did it. Do you want to read the article?
Oh, you can read it since you're so excited about it. I mean, I'm excited about it too, but
I've never geeked out about something. This is going to make me sound so shallow, but I don't care. I don't care. I want this thing. All right. So from ZDNet, I saw this digital manicure change color instantly at CES 2026, and you can order it now. And you can see that little picture there where she's changing the color of her nail right on her finger. Ever wish you can change your nail polish in a flash? Yes. Without setting foot in a salon? Also yes. Or pulling out that bottle remover? Yes, please. At CES 2026, iPolish debuted what it's calling the world's first digital color changing nails, and it's pretty impressive. The acrylic press-on nails connect to an app where you can choose from over 400 polish colors. Place the tip of the nail inside a small wand device that resembles a small portable power bank, and the color changes almost instantly. This is beauty on demand, and it's the future of beauty, Lance Littell, Senior Vice President of iPolish, told me at CES. This is the first digital fashion accessory that's been launched on the market. It's also a non-chemical, cruelty-free beauty option, he added. The nails last as long as regular press-ons, typically until your nail grows out or until they pop off, which Dee and I were talking about earlier. You know, press-on nails, no matter how good you put them on, they can pop off, especially when you put them in water. But the technology to power this change has been around for 5 years. Oh, excuse me. For 15 years. What? And it is, I'm so mad about that. Like, what?
Yeah.
When I used to actually go out and do things, like I could have had this. And is indicative of what you can find in Kindle readers. I watched a demo at CES, and it was really cool. The polish changed within a few seconds of the nail being placed in the wand. I was skeptical about how the nails would look on your fingers, but they appeared similar to a regular gel manicure. They didn't look digital at all. The starter kit, now available for pre-order, costs $95 and includes the color-changing wand, a top coat, bonding glue, and 2 sets of nails. You can choose from different nail styles, lengths, and sizes. Replacement nail sets start at $6. That's not bad. The company launched this summer, and the technology will likely be available in major beauty stores. I am so I'm literally
Yeah.
gonna put money away just so I can buy this. I have to buy this. Like, are you kidding? Consumers
Yeah.
things now. They want it on demand. They want it fast. Littell said, "You're not spending hours doing your nails." Go Littell, because you really know I do not like going into nail salons. I hate it.
Mm-mm.
I do my own nails because I just can't.
You
Because I
now
always
have control of your color. Instead of using one color with an eye polish
I
bottle,
told you guys
what
I'm
you
gonna
can
geek
now
out.
do is you have 400 colors that you can change anytime, anywhere. You wake up in
400.
the morning and you have a beige outfit for work, you change your color of your nails to beige. At night, you go out on a date, you have a red dress up, you change your color of your nails to red. You can do that thousands of times over and over on demand whenever you want. All you need is our nails and an iPhone app.
It's
Wow.
incredible. It's one of the first ever digital manicures. And the thing I hate about getting my nails done is that by the time they're done, I don't like the color. I want to change. I picked the wrong color at the salon. So being able to change whatever you want just seems like it's really adaptive.
Oh, that is so cool. Like, even if you're a guy, you don't wear nails and stuff like that. Like, you gotta tell, that is so freaking cool. Like, all the stuff from movies that we watched, Back to the Future, we watched the flying cars, all
We're
the stuff.
still waiting on the hoverboards.
Still waiting on the hoverboard. I think they did come out with the sneakers though a while ago, where you can like tap the thing in the sneaker, whatever. But so many things that we just thought would be everywhere when we got older. This was one of them. Do they have sparkling colors though? That's a good question.
I don't know, because I love glitter.
Yeah, like they probably do. Imagine though, like you can have like it'll look like a galaxy just like swirling around on your nail because it's like it's digital. Yo, how sick! I am so excited.
Yeah, my toes are going crazy with it. Yes, I need some for my toes too.
I'm telling you. What if your nails become sentient and start to attack you? Man, then I'll go out looking pretty fresh. You mean they don't?
I love the idea. I love the idea because I spend hours on my nails because I do my own. Because
Yeah.
I feel like years ago you would go into like the nail shop and sure it was still all Vietnamese people, but they would actually do a good job.
Mhm.
And here lately, like I'll go in and
Everything costs extra.
well, yeah, but not just that. It's like they get polished all over the place. I mean,
They cut your nail all
I'd
weird.
probably have a better job. Like I probably get better like paint job, like letting like a fifth grader paint my toenails. Like, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
no, that looks terrible. And you just charge me $25 extra to put shellac on them. No, I'm good. So I just started doing it myself at home. It just takes me hours.
Yeah.
And I'm bent on the floor like a pretzel. And then afterwards, my back is just like killing me. But yeah,
They look good.
like
though.
in doing gel and stuff, I mean, it takes a long time, but it does. It lasts me a long time. And then I can, but I like painting my toes too. My our producer's telling me just to wear closed-toed shoes, but I gotta look at my feet afterwards. And like
and
I can't be an OnlyFans foot model because like I gotta look at my own toes, and it's like at least it could look somewhat cute.
Yeah. No, but it makes you feel good too. But like this
Yeah.
is because I don't know, like people will still kind of want to have like the regular nails and stuff like that because as you were saying before, like there's a lot of issues with press on nails. Like if you're doing like the dishes or something and it gets like you get like hot water or whatever, after a while they feel like they're gonna pop right off. So imagine
Yeah.
how are you even gonna do the dishes like with
Yeah.
nails on?
Well, are they gonna get damaged too if they get submerged in water? Like,
That's a good question. I wonder if people actually asked that when they were there.
look at Funk Master. I'm gonna be the envy of the job site. Yeah, I'm gonna be the envy of the job site with those. The contractors are gonna wish they were me. Oh shit!
Yeah,
You're gonna be like, hey girls.
I mean, this is the kind of thing that like if you got it and you had like guys around you and stuff that don't care about polish, they'll look and they'll probably be fascinated and want to check it out.
Yeah,
I feel.
and they're probably gonna tell you, oh my god, it's like that movie. And
Yeah.
you're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
But it's
What
like
movie? You're old.
came out and now we know like it's already like you could pre-order it. So
Yeah, we're gonna be pre-ordering, just so you know. We'll be wearing our matching nails and we're gonna match nail colors.
yeah, I'm saving up for this and I'm gonna get it, and then if we do get it, we gotta like pull it up on the show and play with it.
Oh yeah.
All right. Are you ready for the best time of the show?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. Caption this says, "Bum."
Oh boy.
Why does he look like he's in his golf shirt? Probably. All
He's so orange.
It's basically like AI already knows like how many people call him orange.
Yeah.
They're gonna add. But yeah, so this is caption.
Who the hell is in the Batman suit?
I don't know, but he looks legit. He actually looks like somebody like John Hamm. No, he doesn't look like John Hamm. But yeah, this is the part of the show where it's called Caption This. It's a game we play. We ask the audience to participate. This is an AI-generated photo, and we're asking you guys to come up with a funny caption. And the funniest one wins. Dee and I will vote on it. And Brian mentioned there is an instant win condition. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically if you can come close or get the actual prompt for this GIF and make it into a caption. That's funny. All right, so we got the, what do they call it? I know it's like Northern Lights, but what is it called? Borealis?
Oh, the Aurora Borealis.
Aurora Borealis.
See, that's what we need to get on our nails. We need to get an Aurora.
Imagine, like, you just look down and they're just, like, glittering and stuff, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I can't stop thinking about it.
Like little LED lights in them.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I would love that.
Yeah, just for, like, you going out for the night or whatever, like, that would be fun.
Yeah, like I'm so extra. I would do that. I'd wear them and they'd be glowing. They'd be bright as shit, and I wouldn't care.
Or just like it could have like a message going across the nails. Like it can get really crazy.
I'm so extra. I love it. I'm like, I don't care. Look at what I got.
I'm so excited. I couldn't wait to get to this part of the show. I wanted to be like, guys, forget everything else. Do you know what happened?
Like, it doesn't matter that there's these wars and all this conflict and like Greenland and Iran and all this war. What matters is my nails.
Right. Childhood dreams are being realized, okay? Can we all focus?
Yes.
All right. Just be cool. Polar bears are scared of bats. Nice. Are they?
Are they? Yeah. Are they?
That's crazy.
Doug, are they really?
Mice and elephants. The orange
Guess
knight.
who from the shroom?
Wait.
That is a pretty shroomy kind of thing to see, right? Trump and Batman and a polar bear.
I know.
The Aurora Borealis, like
3 bears, 1 cave.
the Orange Knight.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne. They have the Johnny Cab auto drive. Now we just need a Mars station. Yeah, they do.
Wow, like if you really think Bruce, like you got Batman, but like his alter ego is Trump.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is.
Hopefully that means he's going to save Gotham City, aka New York.
Yeah. Oh yeah, New York.
Hey, I just noticed that.
Okay, calm down. I got it at Walmart. It was on clearance.
Now I gotta get a hoodie that says, oh, is it okay if I say?
Texas.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, I don't know.
Texas.
Texas. All right. America, us, we have Batman and now we have Greenland. Yeah. Who takes on darker corruption? Oh, Rebels. America versus we have Batman and now we have Greenland is dangerously close to the instant win condition. All right. Rick says who takes on darker corruption, Trump or Batman? Either way, both are letting people live in the light. Wow, that's deep.
Yeah. Very philosophical, Rick.
Right?
Yeah.
pinstripes, and hood scoop nails.
hood nail. I wonder how long they make those.
Oh, you know, people are gonna be walking around with like really long ones that like say all this crazy stuff. They're gonna be like in the movie theater, and people are gonna be like, "Can you turn your nails off?"
I'd be that girl.
Right? Be like, "What?"
You're like,
Don't hate.
and you're just clicking them.
Just give me the little claps. Don't hate.
You can put those little hands on them, like on the tip of each one. That
Oh
way you
no!
can just
And serve mashed potatoes.
or pick stuff up with the little hands. Where are the puppies? I've got one right here with me, Doug. Let's see. Oh,
Aww.
this is my little lucky boy.
AK says the new AARP commercial with the Justice League. That is a good one. Yo, at this point though, Batman is like AARP, but they just keep, oh, hello, baby. Hi, that's Lucky, everybody.
This is Lucky. Doug wanted to see the puppies, but the other ones they're rowdy, they're rambunctious. But this one, he's just so chill. He's such a good boy.
Yeah, he's so sad, like mushy mush. He just wants to
Yeah,
be
he jumped in the clothes dryer today and made himself a little home in there. And I was like, wow. And I texted my husband, like, we really got to watch this one. There's no reason why he should be jumping in the clothes dryer.
He likes the warmth and maybe like the smell of the, like.
I think it's just because it was a dark little cubby, you know, since he was living on the streets, and they told me he was 3 years old. So he was probably, you know, just looking for shelter all the time. And like,
it's kind of like going back to what he knows for a second.
But you don't have to hide here, baby, because you're safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's getting along really well with all the other ones. So yeah. You're welcome, Doug. Thank you, Dougie.
Lucky's like our mascot for now.
Yeah.
He's like, what?
All right. So who's gonna win? Now Doug moved on to who won.
Imagine you have that image painting on your nails, girls. Yeah, that'd be cool.
No. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So, I think we're gonna do a vote. So Rick's the Orange Knight, vote 1 if you think that's a funniest, and I can't even speak. I'm like, well, and then vote 2 if you want to go with the new AARP commercial with the Justice League by AK. She showed the puppies. Yes, she did. I'm Donald Trump and I endorse the Dark Knight for president. Thank you for attention to this matter. That's great. But we actually do need superheroes. It's crazy. All right, we got to vote for 1. Okay, we got the vote. Thank you, Brian.
I'm gonna go with 1, 2 for the Orange Knight.
Thank you, AK. Yeah, I like the Orange Knight too. I think I'm gonna go with that. Brian, did you put a 3? Don't you tee-hee in my
do that? Tee.
A typo. Okay, all right. He meant to.
He's like tee-hee.
Aw, Funk with a $10 super
thank
chat.
you. Aw.
That is so cute. Hey, Lucky. You got a treat from Funk Master General.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh my god, he's so mushy. I can't.
Yeah, and he's so skinny, but I think he's already put on a little bit of weight. He's long though. Look at how long he is.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like, I feel like he's mixed with King Charles a little bit, because my brother has one that kind of has that same body with the tail. But it could be, you know, it could be a lot of breeds that are like that.
Yeah, he is such a good boy. I love him so much. He's still figuring things out, but it's okay. Like
Yeah, little by little, we'll be running around with everybody.
Mhm.
This is gonna take a while. Yeah, it looks like Rick, you won it with the Orange Knight. Congratulations, Rick.
Good job. Woo!
Yay! Good stuff, good stuff. But yeah, so thank you. I mean, it's that time, man. We got through this hours like so fast. But thank you guys as always for hanging out with us. I hope you had a wonderful Monday. I hope you have a lovely evening. If you, of course, want to follow the show, you can, the real Roma _ AK. You could follow me on X Elizabitty213A or D at Cynical Latina. You can also go to our website if you want to check out like all of our videos and everything, and all of our hosts, all of our socials, everything is there. You go to riseofmiddleamerica.com, which is Roma, riseofmiddleamerica.com. And you can use that Q&R code. Thank you, Brian, at the top of the screen there. That'll take you right there as well. And join the Discord. Come hang out with us, because you can like hang out with us, but you can also submit some AI generated photos if you want. That might appear on the show. So definitely do that. We're gonna have a lot of things this year going on in the Discord, so definitely join in while we're getting all that ramped up. And thank you for another great show, Dee.
Well, I am so thrilled to be back, and yeah, I had a great time with you tonight. We got to talk a lot about some like cool topics, obviously some sad ones, but like, that nail one just really like, yeah, kind of bad about that one, but a little selfish, and we're definitely on pre-order, so.
Right. I know. I got to check that out. That is so stinking cool. Like, I can't even believe they did it. I'm so excited. I'm pissed it's been up 15 years. Like,
Yeah.
15 years ago, I was still hanging out. Now I'm just like, who am I going to show these things to? Except you. I'll show it to you guys if I have it on. But yeah.
Well, there were like pop culture things that, we can all identify with as, things that we grew up with that were just like made an impact in our brains. Just like, I constantly bring up the 3 seashells from the Demolition Man.
Yep.
Like, we all want to know how we're supposed to use the 3 seashells.
Yeah.
There's an explanation, but it's not, I don't think it's something that any of us really want to try.
No.
It's not very sanitary.
I don't think we really want to know. But we kind of do, but we don't. But yeah. No, but so thank you guys as always for watching. Don't forget Sunset Rants again tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, and then right after you have the drive-in. So there's a lot going on tomorrow. So always keep it right here. Share the show with your friends. Like, comment, all of that really helps the algorithm. We love you guys. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Oh, we got to dance. Hold on.
So I got to thinking, there's MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. MAGA, Make America Great Again. But what we really need to do is make America follow the Constitution again. Motherfucker. That sounded better in my head.